crime bill, which put tens of thousands of black men, mostly, in jail.
They should not be going to jail for a drug or an alcohol problem. They should be going into treatment. That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I'm going to get done, because I think maybe the American people have now seen that, in fact, it was a mistake to pass those laws relating to the drug. But they were not in the crime bill.
Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Now you're saying you're going to get it done because you're all talk and no action, Jim.
We got a lot of it done. We released 38,000. We got 38,000 prisoners left from the.
You got nothing done.
Another moment where Donald Trump put Joe Biden in a corner, this time talking about criminal justice reform and who was on the winning side of this argument. Let's get an answer to that question now. Joining us is the executive director of the National Diversity Coalition for President Trump, Bruce LeVell. Bruce, great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I thought this was really kind of the moment. The issue, of course, about criminal justice reform, you can compare and contrast President Trump and President Obama's records on this issue alone. But I think it also just kind of tells us in a more broader sense what Joe Biden is and what they couldn't really get done while they were in office and what their real priorities were. It wasn't this, was it, Bruce?
No, listen, thanks for having me. And let me tell you something. You notice when the president addressed the crime bill, he asked for God. Oh, God, yeah, you need to trust me on that, because from the time last night and from this morning, my phone has been going off on black voters. Watch this on your show, John, who were a little disappointed because they went out and early voted and they waited to the last minute to kind of pay attention. This is what my fear was about getting the information out there, especially as it relates to the black community. They went out and some of them cast that vote regretting, didn't realize the magnitude of Joe Biden wrote and authored and put it on Clinton's desk to sign, which did create, quote, the largest mass incarceration for black Americans in the history of the United States. He has been running from this, sir. He has been running left and right. This is what's brewing in real talk in black culture right now.
Yep. Black
business owner, 27 years in Atlanta. That's why Kamala's coming down here today in Atlanta, desperate. There's no other vice president candidate has visited Atlanta or anywhere in the South since John Edwards. They know they're up against the wall. They know that this heinous crime bill created disenfranchised of black men in their homes. This is real moving stuff going on right now, John, and they know they're in trouble, and he knows he's in trouble.
Well, Bruce, you know this, but not a lot of other people know this, and this is part of the reason why I think this black awakening has been happening, because you can talk about the 1994 crime bill, but you can also talk about the real kind of roots that were laid during the Clinton administration for the economic calamity, because what Clinton really did when it came to the housing, they wanted to make sure, it was almost predatory lending, right, in these urban communities, giving some of these mortgages to urban communities. They pushed this because they thought it would help them out politically, and what it really did was sow the seeds of the financial disaster of the Great Recession.
Yeah, exactly. Which obviously that I'm a victim of that. 2008. We get to a conversation about that terrible Dodd-Frank regulation that Obama put in place, as well as that conversation on that massive subprime and derivative market that just totally decimated black ownership. But look here, at the end of the day, President, you right here in Atlanta, 2.5 weeks ago, presented the Platinum Plan, $500 billion, John, largest, biggest plan ever in the history of the United States that addresses the disparities in black communities across the country, mainly in the opportunity zones, which are the underserved communities, addressing the credit, the banking in terms of access to capital, from education to health, private partnership clinics being proposed in a lot of these black communities. The list goes on. Platinum Plan, you can Google it for all your viewers to watch this plan, look at it. The Dems they run from this. They don't like talking about it. We don't get booked on a lot of the mainstream media networks either, because they know this is a game changer in black America for the president. Joe Biden is up against the wall, and he knows it. And that's why he was calling out for God. And you need to call out for that mess you put us all into in 1994.
Bruce, we could talk about Georgia a long time, but I know there's 2 Democratic Senate candidates right now that are feeling pretty confident based on these poll numbers. But if I were them, I wouldn't be so confident based on those things you're talking about there in the Peach State. Bruce, great to see you as always. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. All
right. Well.